Police quell Muslim riot on Temple Mountain on the date of 2nd February 2012. On the date of 24 February 2012. Dozens of Israel riot police were forced to storm the Temple Mount after more than 100 Arabs began hurling rocks at them. Dozens of riot police were deployed to quell a Muslim riot on the Temple Mount in Jerusalem Old City on Friday. Israel's police spokesman Mikey Rosenfeld said more than 100 Muslims began throwing rocks at a police location following Friday prayers, prompting the police to enter the compound. According to the reports, police used tear gas and rubber bullets to disperse the rioters. Police, however, say they had used only stun grenades against the demonstrators, and dozens of people had barricaded themselves inside the Al-Aqsa Mosque, were negotiating with the Israelis not to storm into the mosque or the Dome of the Rock and to let people out. Sheikh Azam al-Khatib, head of Jerusalem Waqf, told AFP. He blamed the Israel government for the rioting and claimed they will bear the consequences, adding, We demand that no shelters, radicals or soldiers enter the We demand that not settlers, radicals or soldiers enter the mosque to avoid friction. Much of the tension follows off the heels of totally unconfirmed reported published by the Al-Aqsa Center early this week, claiming Israel plans to divide the Temple Mount into separate Jewish and Muslim sections in the same way that the Cave of the Patriarchs in Hebron is divided. Friday's riot is only the latest in a series of clashes with police and attacks of Jewish and Christian pilgrims by Muslims on the Temple Mount this week. On Thursday, police arrested 7 Arabs who instigated a series of confrontations with Jewish visitors on the Temple Mount in Jerusalem Old City. On Tuesday, Muslims on the Temple Mount hurled stones and shoes at police, escorting Jewish and Christian visitors. One police officer sustained minor injuries. 2 Muslims were arrested in that incident, police said. And on Sunday, police used tear gas to disperse Muslim rioters who were throwing stones inside the compound, arresting 80 people. The Temple Mount is the site of the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Today, however, long before that, it was the site of the first Holy Temple built by King Solomon, stood from 950 BC to 587 BC, and on the second Holy Temple from 517 BC to 717 after Christ, and is indisputably Judaism's most sacred site. The Western Wall, where Jews are allowed to pray, is merely a remnant of an outside compound wall of Herodian days and not part of the temple. The Muslim Waqf religious Muslim authority has systematically attempted to destroy all archaeological evidence of earlier Jewish presence on the mount, illegally excavating and destroying priceless and irreplaceable relics. Israeli archaeologists and volunteers shift painstakingly through the debris of the excavation, finding artifacts that are then transferred to Israel Museum. The Muslim Waqf was allowed to manage the site after Israel succeeded liberating the Temple Mount in 1967 at the suggestion of the Defense Minister Moshe Dayan. It maintains a discriminatory policies seeking to bar Jewish entry to the site. The Israeli police, afraid of riots, allow Jewish worshippers to be discriminated against to the point of not being allowed to even worship prayers on the mount. And these are the images of what was happened there in that time in 24 February 2012 when unofficial sources says that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu asked to the Arabic leaders actually send them, not ask to them, send to the Arabic leaders the Israel intention to occupy the Temple Mount and build right to the Dome of the Rock to start building the third temple in Jerusalem. So this is what was about in that time, and Israel is willing and prepared and with a very strong desire to rebuild the third temple in Jerusalem, which is a blessing not only for them but for all the nations in the world, and it is also the will of God. May God help them to rebuild the temple and start to rebuild the temple in Jerusalem. So Stephen the known on Bible prophecy, talking about the Netanyahu will take control of the Temple Mount. I start also this video and let him see that everything what was telling is true.
The Lord, Gary Skagibo, that it's been reported that Benjamin Netanyahu has informed the Arab authorities that they will take the plans at the end of this year to take half the Temple Mount in order to begin the building of the third temple. And it's very interesting and very shocking news as well. Something that I expected, though, to happen this year, based on the video that I released at the end of last year called Urgent Warning, Revelation 11, 1-3, about to be fulfilled. The Jewish writer John, who wrote in the Christian Bible these words. And let me just read this to you real quick before we get into this. John wrote here, "And there was given me a reed like unto a rod, and the angel stood saying, Rise and measure the temple of God and the altar and them that worship therein. But the court which is without the temple leave out and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles, and the holy city shall they tread underfoot 42 months. And I will give power unto my two witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days clothed in sackcloth." Now, after I got this letter from Gary this morning, I went real quick and looked online to see if there was any other information about this. And Aruch Shiva, back on February 25th of this year, was reporting the violence, the riots by the Palestinians because of the announcement of Israel taking the third temple. Now, it's being played down. We don't see much in the secular media of the United States right now, but this is definitely going to happen. It is certainly a part of the peace process, I believe, that we're about to see unfold here. Because
And this is the link from where I take these sources of news. www.israelnationalnews.com and the rest of them. I will attach also this link to this movie.